what it says right there, 252. We had our last prayers for Arlene.
Another child becomes a victim of a shooting in Houston. What we're learning about how she ended up being an unintended target. The family of 9-year-old Arlene Alvarez now mourning her death.
With a funeral to plan, her loved ones are now remembering her short-lived life. Anayeli Ruiz is following this tragic update and just spoke to the child's father. Anayeli.
That's right. As you can imagine, her family is just heartbroken. Her dad tells us they were headed to the bank here and then to their Valentine's Day dinner when the shooting happened. They say their daughter was in the back seat watching a movie when this all occurred. Take a look. These are some pictures and videos that he shared of Arlene. You can see this fourth grader who attended Dezavala Elementary in HISD. She was the one that was shot here last night at around 9:45 after police say a robbery victim identified as 41-year-old Tony Earls was at the Chase Bank ATM here on Woodridge. Earls got out of his car and shot at the suspect that had robbed it. Investigators tell us he then opened fire at a truck he thought was the suspect's truck. But instead, it was a truck that was with Alvarez family who had nothing to do with the robbery. Officers tell us one bullet pierced through the back window and then struck Arlene. They say Earls, who was robbed, left the scene and didn't know someone had been hit, but he later called police to report the robbery. Earls has been arrested and charged. Her dad described Arlene as a loving little girl.
Always going live, doing nails, doing something. They're always trying to do her YouTube videos. But it's taken away now. But I got to try to hold them, be strong for them. Really for my wife, my kid, my other son. He saw everything. He cried, and it's weird because he was a speech delayed. He was a speech delayed son, so he never really talked. My daughter would always talk for him. She knew what he wanted and what he was trying to say.
Now, just heart-wrenching, and Arlene's dad tells us the close family all gathered at the hospital today where they said their final goodbyes. They said a prayer for her, and she was disconnected. Arlene's dad tells us she leaves behind 2 brothers and her mother who loves her dearly. Now, as for Tony Earls, we know he is being charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and is currently in the Harris County Jail. Of course, we'll continue to follow this and bring you guys the very latest. Reporting live, Anayeli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.